Hi, I'm Carrie with Lake Time Radio, here interviewing the one and only Fritz Schultz. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
Well, what brings you to Nashville?
Music City.
Yes, and an appearance on the J.R. Jones
Yeah,
show.
J. Raleigh Jones show. I'm so excited.
I know, hasn't it been? Have you had a fun time today with
so
this
much
crew?
fun. Oh, these guys are great.
Yes. A lot of talent that J.R. is acquainted with.
Amazing. Never played together before, and sounds like we've known each other for years.
And that's a good crew.
These guys are amazing. Yeah, good stuff.
Good. Now, what was the first thing you did when you hit town?
We went over to Bobby's Idle Hour in Music Row, down on Music Row, and played some songs over there, listened to some other songwriters. It was pretty cool, pretty neat.
It's a great place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been there a while.
Are you going back?
We might.
I'm sure they'd be glad to have you there again.
We'll find out. We'll just see how the schedule ends up, Seem to be pretty busy.
Yes. There's always something to do in Nashville.
Yeah, I see that. It's something else.
Well, now, one of the songs that I heard you perform today was John Wayne's, with John Wayne as the theme of that. Can you tell me a little bit about
John Wayne's Blood.
John Wayne's Blood, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, well, about a year and a half ago, my second cousin came to one of my shows, and we were sitting there talking, and the owner's son came over to the table, was waiting on us, and there was pictures of John Wayne all around the walls, and she goes, "Why you got all these pictures of John Wayne?" He goes, "Well, my mama named me after him, Jonathan Wayne Keeler." She goes, "Oh, so you're named after John Wayne?" He goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, we're related to him." And I said, "You are?" She goes, "We are." I said, "We are?" She goes, "I said, not me." She goes, "Yeah." And I said, "No." She goes, "Yeah." I said, "You mean I got John Wayne's blood flowing through my veins?"
And the song.
And I said, "That sounds like a country song to me." So, yeah, come to find out, he actually had confirmed it to my great uncle. My great uncle owned a travel agency, and he took a crew to Monument Valley one time when John Wayne was filming there, and he got to speak to him, and he goes, "Are you familiar with someone named Velma Morse?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's my cousin." And that was my granddaddy's mama. So.
Wow. So you're double famous, not only a great country performer, but you have a Hollywood in your blood too.
Yeah, well, his real name was Marion Morrison. I found out the reason we didn't know was because when he changed his name to John Wayne, the family wouldn't talk about him anymore. So fine. They were kind of know where you got his pride, I guess.
But that is the way Hollywood was back in the day. Everyone changed their name when they went to the big town. They
say his first movie, he was billed as Duke Morrison. And when it was a hit, and they said we got to give him 2 first names. So that's what they did. Yeah, so it's been interesting. I've got some pictures of my dad next to him. It looked so much alike, and sometimes there's some very interesting family resemblances that I never noticed before. It's pretty cool.
Fantastic. Now, where is technically your hometown?
I live in a little town called McKinney, Texas. It's about 20 miles north of the big city of Dallas, Texas.
So do you do a lot of gigs in Dallas?
Yeah, I play all over Dallas, all around the areas. Play showcases, concerts, barbecue joints, whatever, where we do just fun stuff. Play some music festivals and things like that. Played the Texas State Fair last week.
Oh, nice. That is a very big event.
It was fun. Yeah, that's a big fair.
So how many do you think might have been in attendance of your concert that night?
At the fair? Oh, geez. Well, there were so many walking by that it was hard to tell. I mean, sitting in front of us, there was probably 300 or 400 people, and people were walking by all the time, shooting off fireworks while we're playing. So it was pretty cool. It was neat. Yeah.
So what is the largest audience you've played in front of?
Largest audience I've ever played in was probably 5,000 to 6,000 people.
Wow, that's impressive. That's about the size of my hometown.
Well, I'm actually originally from a little town in Michigan called Grass Lake, Michigan, and it's not much bigger than that either. It's a funny thing about that little town, it's where they had the third largest pop festival ever held. It's called the Goose Lake Pop Festival. And that was in my little hometown. It was on a friend of mine's daddy's farm.
So what took you from Michigan all the way down to Texas?
Well, I had a family and children to raise, and I moved down there in '82. I'd lived in California and played music out there and traveled all over playing, and I moved back to Michigan and was raising my family, and it was in '82, they closed down half of the auto factories, and I guess there was about 750,000 people laid off that year. They had a sign, matter of fact, when I left the state, there was a billboard on the side of the road that said, "Last one to leave, turn out the lights."
That's a tough sign of the times.
So it was pretty tough up there, so there was plenty of work in Dallas and area. My mom and my stepdad were living there. He said, "You can have a job tomorrow." Moved down there, I had 2 jobs within a week. So started teaching guitar and started a window cleaning contracting business. So raised my kids. Got them out of the house, get out. Started playing my guitar again. But I played all the time anyway, just not as much as I am now.
So are your children as musically talented as you are?
Not one of them. Well, I have a stepson who sings and plays guitar. He's working on it. He's pretty good.
Good.
But none of my son's an artist, and now they just didn't follow in my footsteps.
Well, to each his own.
Smart kid.
Yes, playing music isn't always easy.
No, it's wonderful. I love it, but it can be a heartbreaker.
Yes.
So if it's not about the music, then don't do it. It's got to be about the music.
Is that where you get most of the inspiration for your songwriting from?
It depends on what the song's about, I suppose.
How about the Lost Caboose?
Well, in Texas, by law, you're required to write a train song.
I didn't know that.
Yep, and if you don't, you can get arrested and thrown in the if you don't believe me.
Not for a minute.
So I thought, well, you got to write a train song. It's just only right. So thought about it, and I thought, there's a lot of train songs out there. So I wanted to think about it. Well, I didn't want it to sound like everybody else. I didn't want to write somebody else's train song all over.
Right.
So I thought one day, when was the last time you saw a caboose rolling down the tracks?
Yeah, you don't see cabooses
On
anymore.
a train,
Yeah.
And why not?
Because the speed of trains have improved, so they no longer need the living quarters. My grandfather was a railroad man, and I was the youngest of his 12 grandkids.
Is that the reason?
Yeah, my name was Caboose.
I always figured it's because it was just money they didn't need to spend anymore. Save a buck. It's and the song's really not just about that. It's also about the loss of American traditions.
Yes.
Because save the money. Save a buck here and there. So if you don't need a caboose, don't have a caboose. They make a good shed, I guess. I'd like to have one. I'd probably put it in the front yard.
I bet the wife would like that.
You
You might be living in it if you do.
Yeah. She'd have it hauled off with me in it. Somebody get this train out of my yard.
Well, what are some of the stops you hope to make while you're in Nashville? Is there a site in particular you'd like to see?
I'm hoping to get on the Grand Ole Opry stage before I go. Now, I'd love to go down and see that, and see downtown, and the Ryman Auditorium's so full of tradition. Just go around and see the sights. I've never been here before. I drove through it, on the way from one town to another, but I never got to stop here. So first time I ever got to stop here was last night. So
It's a magical city.
it's really beautiful. I love it, absolutely love it. And the countryside around here is so pretty too. I just love the mountains and stuff.
Well, Fritz, it was great to meet you. Thank you so much
too.
for the
Thank you.
interview today, and I
My
hope to hear
pleasure.
much more from you.
I hope so too.
Thank you very much.
See you next time we come back.
I hope so. And that is Carrie for Lake Time Radio with Fritz Schultz.